Hello, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Help Doctor from forrelationshiphelp.com. And I want to answer a question today that is asked over and over in my groups and in my member circles. And that question is, will the hijackal ever stop trying to control me? Big question, because you'd really like it to stop. I know you would. And yet, the answer is no, except when the hijackal really wants something from you. I know it's kind of depressing, isn't it? But they need control because that's the only way that they feel any sense of security in life, is to have control over other people. And the closer you are to them, the more they feel that you are their person to control. And so the answer is no, they won't stop. But when they really want something, they will then appear to give you something, to actually give you back that person that you fell in love with in the beginning, or that raised you and you really would like the approval of and have always wanted the approval of. You know, that's where it gets really tough. If you have a hijackal parent, you want to have that relationship that you see on television or in AT&T ads. You want to have that. I know I wanted to have that. Both my parents were hijackals, and I always longed to have the relationship that looked like the Hallmark movies, but we can't have that. It's sad, but we can't have that. It doesn't exist. Those hijackal parents did not have that to give us. They did not have a healthy outlook. They did not have equitable needs. They did not know how to do reciprocity. They certainly didn't know how to do mutuality, especially after we were adults. So you can't have a healthy relationship with an unhealthy person. It doesn't work that way. But there is that longing place inside us if we were raised by them, because they always had to have control. They always had to have the last word. And one of the ways that they did that was by withholding approval, right? I remember sitting on my yoga room floor, because I used to own a holistic health retreat, after both my parents had died. And I was there organizing the photographs that my parents had and I had to give to my children. And at the end, I went to look for, and I've told this story before, so impactful. I went to look for photographs of something my mother said to me on a regular basis. She'd say, "It's a good thing you're smart, young lady, because you're fat and ugly." Yeah. So I went looking for evidence of fat and ugly in the photographs, and I hope I wasn't delusional, but I couldn't find it. And then I realized as I sat there what was really going on within me. And because a hijackal doesn't have those gifts to give, because they don't have love to give, they only have uses for you. They want you to make them look good. You only get validated when you do something that makes them look good. They don't validate you for who you are or your feelings. So I'm sitting there thinking about that hijackal parent always wanting control, and both of them did in various ways. And I realized that I was waiting for their approval, but the problem was I didn't approve of who they were. So here's a big one that I learned at that moment. No longer waiting for the approval of someone of whom I don't approve. You can free yourself a lot from that. So hijackals have to have this control. They're afraid. They were raised in a way that made them afraid to not be in control. So therefore, they are always in that on guard mode, always making sure they're dominating, controlling, having power over, looking for opportunities to do that. So the answer is no, they will not stop. And they will do that to you. They will do that to their children. They will do that to their grandchildren. But sometimes they seem to be so nice to their grandchildren. It's almost like you look at them and say, why couldn't you have done that for me? Now, in my case, no. They were not that nice to the grandchildren either, but it might happen to you. Now, what if you have a partner who's a hijackal? Well, if you had hijackal parents, you're likely to have your first partner at least to be a hijackal. And they're not going to stop wanting control over you either. They will put you down. They will demean you. They will belittle you. They will name call. They will get angry for no good reason. You know, they have out of proportion emotions. So, you know, you look at them sideways some days and they just come down on you like a thunderstorm. And it has nothing to do with you. You know, when you go to my page on Facebook, which is Relationship Help Doctor, facebook.com/relationship help doctor, I put up a lot of graphics there. And I put up one just this week, and it's about creating your own Teflon shield. So important to create your own Teflon shield that comes down when you're with the hijackal. And what that shield is it pushes back and leaves you unscathed when they are doing projection, when they are gaslighting you, when they are name calling, when they are telling you who you are and what's wrong with you. Whatever they're telling you that's really about them, you just don't need to be listening to anymore. So you put up your Teflon shield to keep yourself safe. We need to learn to do that. Another thing that we need to learn to do is to express ourselves, not because it will make a difference to the hijackal. I wish it would, but very, 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 very seldom does that ever happen. You express yourself because it empowers you. So when they say, no, that's all your fault, you say out loud in a quiet voice, no, actually, I've thought about it and it isn't. You don't blame. There's never any percentage in poking a hijackal. You know that already, right? You don't blame, but you reinforce, you affirm, no, it's not my doing. No, I have looked at my life and no, I've thought that through and no, I didn't do that. No, that's not true about me. And one of the things a client reminded me, and I have clients all over the world, so it's wonderful to be reminded of things. She said, you said once to say, when they told me something about me, that I would say, oh, you're not me, so you can't know how I feel. That's a very good thing to have in your repertoire, to be able to say when somebody tells you how you feel, and you know how hijackals love to do that, when somebody does that, to be able to quietly say, no, you're not me, so you can't possibly know how I feel, but if you'd like to ask me, I'd be happy to tell you. Got that? Say that genuinely. You know, it's not a gotcha. You're not trying to get into an argument. Say it very genuinely. Empower yourself by speaking up quietly and affirming things about yourself. So will a hijackal ever stop wanting to control you? No. But they'll have some minutes when they need something from you so that they will return to that person that you fell in love with. And that's the issue. We're hooked on hope that that person we fell in love with or that person who gave birth to you will behave in a way that demonstrates they love you like they are either supposed to or that they did at the beginning of your relationship. Hijackals in a romantic relationship are chameleons. So at the beginning of the relationship, they give you all their best stuff. You honestly believe that you have finally found the perfect person who knows you, knows your wants, knows your needs, can meet your needs before you express them. It's wonderful. But you notice that it didn't last very long because they were in a big hurry to get you. They were in a big hurry to tie you down, to move in, to marry you, or get pregnant. And that way they would have control over you. So it's a good thing to remember that hijackals seldom have love to give you, but they always have uses for you. And stop expecting hijackals to change. They won't. You have to change. Whether you change your mind about whether you want to be there, you change the strategies, the communication skills you use. I know it's unfair that you have to do all the work, but you have to change. So the answer to your question is no, hijackals won't change, and don't expect them to change. Don't be telling them to change. Affirm what you need. That's your province. That's your territory. That's what you can talk about with authority. And if they will not participate with you and enter into a relationship where you both get your needs met and are honored and respected, and there's honesty and safety and trust, then we really need to talk. If you ever want to talk with me, you can have an initial session for only $97 for an hour where we can find out if we're a good fit to work together, but you can get some answers to your pressing questions. You can also join in at my YouTube weekly live stream on Monday evenings at 6 o'clock Pacific time. You can get in the chat there and ask your questions directly, or become a member. That's the most important thing for you to do. Become a member. forrelationshiphelp.com/circles. Become a member of my optimized circles, where at the different levels you get exactly what you need. And at the basic level, you get to have my off social media discussion groups where you are safely off social media. So go to forrelationshiphelp.com/circles. I know that's a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff for you, and I want you to get the help. So I got to cram it all in. So please stop hoping that a hijackal will change. Allow yourself to be disappointed and recognize that they won't. And then recognize that it's your job to change now, to change your expectations, to change your way of being, to change to focusing on what you want and need rather on trying to make the hijackal happy. I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler. I'm so glad you're here. Take good care, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.